you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with...
Welcome to the She's So Right show. Conservative women being led by Christ to stand for what's right.
Meet your hosts, Lindsey Graham, labeled the Patriot Barbie by the leftist mob. She is a proud author and advocate for freedoms and conservative values.
Brandie Barclay is a powerful Christian voice on Faith Talk Radio, the founder of Power Soul, and a certified life coach.
Guys, get ready to say it way more than you're used to.
She's so right.
Starts now.
Freedom fighters, are you tired of giving your hard-earned money to big corporations who use their power against us? The more money we give them, the more power they have. We are done. As conservatives, the best and most effective way to vote is with our dollars.
We are also committed to shopping products that are cutting edge and toxin-free for a healthier lifestyle. Next time you need daily essentials for your home and body, or are looking to drastically improve your skincare and healthcare with superior collagen and supplements, go to www.shesorightshow.com and click Shop Our Products. Get instant access to our favorite things that will revolutionize your home, your health, and how you do business in the USA.
Use our shopping link to get $10 off your first order. Go to www.shesorightshow.com. Follow us on Instagram at shesorightshow to find all our promo codes and discounts.
Hey, our freedom fighters. This is Brandie Barclay here with Lindsey Graham, and today we are talking about toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Lindsey knows all about it, guys.
Oh my gosh, the term itself, let's just say this.
So
the term
stupid.
itself sounds so naughty, but guess what? It's not really a term. The term is masculinity, and then the left decided, well, you can be too masculine, and that could be dangerous to not just females, but also other males. So we're going to call it toxic masculinity. That just means you're too manly of a man, and you need to take down your manness.
Take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Well, because the left or liberal mindset is it's a war with words.
Mm-hmm.
It's how can we make this sound really,
Worse than it is.
worse than it is and benefit our movement.
Yes.
And so, just like Black Lives Matter, of course, Black Lives Matter.
Right.
How do you argue with that statement?
Right.
So when they say toxic masculinity, deconstruct that.
Yeah.
Masculine is having qualities or appearance traditionally associated with men, especially strength and aggressiveness. In very small writing, it says he is outstandingly handsome, robust, and very masculine. Relating to men, male, a masculine voice, la, 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 la. But then, you guys, if you go into the actual definition, which is kind of funny, there's something now called hypermasculinity, which is, you guys, this is so, I didn't even know this was a word.
Made up, no.
Hypermasculinity is a psychological term for the exaggeration of male stereotypical behaviors, such as an emphasis on physical strength, aggression, and sexuality. This term has been used in so basically a macho personality, callous sexual attitudes towards women, belief that violence is manly, an experience of danger is exciting. This is the definition.
I wish we weren't on the radio. I wish we were on TV because our faces tell it all. Sometimes I'm just like, I can't talk about what I'm hearing. My face is shocked. But when I hear those definitions, first of all, I believe they've been grossly manipulated. Second of all, when I hear that masculinity is being defined as aggressive, violent, I actually picture
Sexual predator.
I actually picture
bully.
the way things were, right? Back in the day, we got to go really far back.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Like I'm in my mind, I'm picturing 300, the movie 300. Like it was respected that you were you're saying violence is this terrible attribute, and it is in the wrong context. But if you're going to war, I kind of want my men on the front line to be a little bit violent. I kind of want them to not worry about who they're going to hurt if they're fighting a war for me, right? So I'm picturing the kind of masculinity back in the day with swords and guns and battles where those men were respected. Why? Because they were masculine. I don't want the soy boy on the front lines, like with his tweed pants, going, "Mommy, how do I heat up a hot pocket?"
Even masculine men can wear tweed pants, and they look really good in them.
And actually, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
But one of the things that when I was looking this up, when you think of leaders, warriors, heroes, aggression, violence, greed, and drive can all be, focused into the right. This is the deal. If a good guy has motivation to go provide, right?
Right.
It's different than if a bad guy has greed.
Right.
But they're blurring the lines, right? So if a good guy wants to protect his family, a bad guy wants to go kill, rape, and murder, they're not the same thing.
But they're both masculine.
They
both fall in the definition that you just read. They both fall into that category.
Yep.
So you're talking about taking a trait that God gave men, which is masculinity. On purpose, intentionally, anointedly. And you're saying that when they use it the wrong way, we can play that game, but when they use it the right way, well, no, that doesn't count. Mm-hmm. So it's like you can't have masculinity anymore. What the left is saying is there is no such thing as masculinity. It's toxic. It's all toxic. Mm-hmm. There is no situation where the left says it's great, and we talked about this with feminism, it's great for a man to want to provide. They're saying, no. Women have the right to provide too. They don't need to be taken care of. We can fend for ourselves.
Well, because if a man is providing, then he's also controlling.
Right. That's what they allege.
Yes.
And so that you cannot, according to the left, you cannot just have masculinity now, according to those definitions. Those definitions, they make it sound all bad. Mm-hmm. They want to just remove, and we all know this, okay? If you're awake and you're watching the news and the media, they want to remove genders in general, which is not scientific, but they want to also remove the characteristics of gender, okay? You and I don't have to wear our hair a certain way or wear makeup. We can be whatever weight we want. We don't have to work out. In fact, to do so is detrimental to our gender because it makes other females feel inferior. Crazy, right? No one should have, this is like grading on a curve. There is no expectation anymore in either gender. And this is going to be awesome, you guys, because our guest, Jason DeSantis, he's the founder of Toxic Masculinity. It's a men's hair care and apparel line. He's
a Jersey boy.
He's alpha male. Mm-hmm. He is alpha. You're going to hear it as soon as he gets on here. What's up, ladies? Like, whoa, I feel the testosterone through the microphone. He's awesome. He believes in, Brandie and I, we always have to clarify this. We don't feel controlled by alpha men or masculine men. In fact, I'm the opposite. I feel empowered by them. I feel protected. I feel secure. I feel like I can be who I need to be because I know that he's strong enough to lead me so that I can be the person God wants me to be. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and to have our backs and to have that covering, have that protection. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I arm wrestle my husband, I'm not going to win.
You're going to lose bad. I mean, bad. I've seen that.
He's got really good arms.
He's toxic.
But he's so, if that's considered toxic, that's a problem.
Right.
Because we're not competing with men. We're complementary too. And of course, I think an aggressive bully who wants to rape and murder and have no sense of morality, not a fan. But we cannot lump all strong men that believe in traditional values into that.
And that's not, okay, a guy that wants to go out and he is violent and aggressive and he wants to rape and murder people, that's not toxic masculinity. That's him being a criminal. That's him being a godless person. That's
a bad person.
That's a whole character flaw that has nothing to do with him being masculine. There are women that are violent. Is there now toxic femininity? Like, we should look that up. Actually, there might be. The left, have you come up with toxic femininity yet?
Oh, I doubt it.
I'm pretty sure I'm the definition. It would be the same thing, right? If you took the same concept and applied it to women.
That is hilarious.
You've got an attractive figure. You care about looking young. You do your hair nicely.
Oh, they do.
Do they really?
Yes.
Okay, we cannot get off topic. We got to have a different one.
I know,
but I'm
right?
saying that, like, if I'm just saying that a guy being an abuser, for example, he's not aggressive, and that's not a toxic masculinity characteristic. That's you're a piece of crap characteristic. You're a narcissist, like anything. But just because...
Well, I guess you could say that's toxic masculine. I mean, but really, that's just toxic behavior.
Yes. Why
does it have to have a gender?
Right. You're a crappy person.
Yeah.
You're an abuser.
Well, and that's one of the things that kind of led me down that road of, if we don't have strong men, strong, good men, let's just say strong, good men. If we don't have strong, good men, bad men will be enabled. Bad men will be enabled by weak men.
Yep.
So,
and let's bring Jason in because he's probably...
I didn't know if he was ready.
Dude, he's probably chomping going, I have so much to say. So Jason DeSantis, founder of Toxic Masculinity, welcome to the show.
I'm on, ladies?
You're on!
Oh, he's on. There he is, because I wasn't listening.
Give us your best alpha male greeting.
Put him on the spot right away.
I don't know what an alpha male greeting is, but I want to thank you, ladies, very, very much for the introduction and having me on the show. I wanted to tear through the phone listening to you two introduce the topic and how passionate you ladies are about it as well, because I'm going to read something and I think this will set, the tone for the conversation, because I think it reiterates what you two ladies were saying.
Awesome.
And I think this is something that is really the foundation of my brand and who I'm about. And masculinity is not toxic.
Amen, brother. Listen, we have to.
It's men who aren't masculine that are toxic.
Absolutely.
Weak, insecure, little men. They're the ones that abuse and hurt women and children.
That's right.
Stepping up to lead and protect them.
That's
and
right.
I think now our society is suffering from a shortage of strong and masculine men, and it brings great harm to our women and children. And they have
completely
no one to
agree.
them.
Jason, hold that thought, because we want you to read what you need to read as soon as we get back from our break.
Need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. Someday, I hope you see the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to the She's So Right show. Brandie Barclay, Lindsey Graham, and today we have the most amazing guest, Jason DeSantis. He's the founder and owner of Toxic Masculinity, apparel and men's hair care, toxicmasculinitymen's.com. He's a Jersey boy. He's an alpha, and he is helping us to dismantle the leftist concept of masculinity being toxic. Jason, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
Hey, ladies, thank you again for having me. I hope your weather is a lot better than ours here in New Jersey.
It's always better. It's Arizona. Hope it's warm there. Yep, it is.
No, it's not warm here. It's like 28 and raw.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds like terrible.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. Stay in Arizona.
Tell us what you were going to read. I'm biting the bed here. Like, tell us what's up.
Yes, I know. I was listening to your lady's introduction, and I was raring to go. And first of all, thank you very much for having me.
We're so glad to have you.
I appreciate the time. I am a huge fan of you two. Politically,
we have a fan, Linz.
Yay!
yes, politically, religiously, you ladies are everything that I think a badass woman should be. So I want to give you ladies kudos, and
thank you.
I want to thank you guys for fighting the good fight and being as fearless as you are, because I think you ladies have a lot more courage than a lot of these so-called toxic men out there that are in our Congress.
That's right. Listen, we know that we're awesome. I want you to talk about your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you use our time. Tell us about.
I think I'm I think I'm pretty awesome too. You either love or hate me,
That's right.
but I think a lot more people love me than hate me. You know, I am what I am, and I'm as real as they come. But again, thank you for having me. And I want to start off by saying masculinity is not toxic.
Amen.
Okay?
Okay.
To me, the absence of masculinity is.
Yes.
It's weak, petty, insecure, macho men that bring great harm to women and children and that do wrong by them. I've never seen a masculine man not be a good son, not be a good husband, not be a good father, not be a good brother, not be a good nephew. And I think what the left has done, they hijacked the terms knowingly to give it a negative connotation, because they knew by devaluing masculine, strong men, they can do the things they're doing now with little to no fight. Because they made strong men out to be evil. And for the past 4 years, they tried to crush masculine men where they almost went into hiding like the Jedis in Star Wars, because they were like public enemy number one. And again, it's you need strong men, like you were saying, Brandie, good strong men. And I don't think there is a bad masculine man. There's a bad macho man. There's not a bad masculine man, because you know, all the characteristics they use about masculinity, these are all great men that I looked up to all my life.
Right.
Coaches, teachers, my father, my godfather, my uncle, all great men. And like, that's why I was like, when I wanted to start my new brand, I'm like, I want to do something that's passionate to me. And I've been in the beauty industry since I was 26 years old, so going on 21 years. I had to bite my tongue for those 21 years. Being an alpha straight, male in the beauty industry. And, politically what they would say, things they would say, like, you want to talk about sexual harassment.
Interesting.
I could probably sue 10 million people, the harassment that I went through as a straight man. But so when I was launching my new brand, I want to do something that was passionate to me. And I don't know when this term started, 2013, 2014, whenever it started, it just...
Probably as soon as Trump was in the White House.
Yeah. Well, when it's funny, it's only toxic masculinity when Trump was running for president. When the last, 4 presidents were men, and not good ones, they weren't toxic. They were great men.
Yeah. Now that you say that, Trump, he did kind of encompass everything. He didn't take any crap. He spoke the truth. He stood up for what he believed in. He didn't cower. He didn't apologize. Like, he was masculine.
But, if you were talking right now to someone from the left, they'd be saying, well, he was a womanizer, and he was this, and he was that. And this is something I think I kind of like want to always hit on now in the shows is we're not saying everything in the right is perfect. We're not saying everything, but we're saying that they are using, like you said, they're hijacking terms that make... that they're trying to make sense out of something that is wrong, and they're hijacking it to the point where people are bowing to it. So do I think Trump did everything right? No. Do I think I've done everything right? I think if you put every little thing I've ever done with a fine-tooth comb, you probably would turn off the radio. I mean, like, this is the deal. We all have stuff.
Well, we're all humans.
We're all humans.
Nobody is flawless, and I think that's the beauty of being a human. You can make mistakes, and not everything has to be perfect, but, not everything needs to be evil either. And I think that's what they do, and that's why I got so passionate about it. And listen, I'm from New Jersey, right? We're a different breed over here. We're very stubborn. We're very thick-headed, but we're also very loyal, and we're also very warm, and we're also very passionate. So when I was starting my new brand, this was 2 years ago I started this, and we're finally launching in December, and it's been a labor of love for 2 years. I want to do something that I was passionate about, that I wanted to inspire, and I wanted to institute some change. And what I've seen over the last 4 years of the attack on God, the attack on the family, the attack on genders, and the attack on masculinity, like, this was something that I wanted to change. So I'll give you an example. One of my shirts says, "Be a man" on the front. And it makes people go crazy. But on the back of the shirt, it says, "Live, love, pray, protect, and provide." And to me, that's what a masculine man does. And if that's wrong, I don't ever want to be right, because
Yep.
What else is there to do in life than live, love, pray, protect, and provide? What else is there for me to do as a father and a son and as a brother than to live, to love, to pray, to protect, and provide?
Mm-hmm.
If I do those things, my head is hitting the pillow every night, and I know I'm going to heaven. And
Yep.
that's my job in life. And if that's bad, like, I think that's where I think things get confusing. Like, I don't think the left wants things to be right or good, because when that happens, they lose control. Mm-hmm. So if they have a strong family unit that goes to church and the mother, she could be equally successful as a man, maybe even more successful. But it also takes a masculine, confident, secure man to be able to have a woman that outshines him. Mm-hmm. You can't be, a petty, insecure macho man and have an unbelievable wife and mother who outshines you. You can't deal with that. And that's what boggles my mind.
Yeah, there's a perfect flow in a household, and that shirt is amazing. Live, love, pray, protect, provide. And when I hear you say, we're going to go to a break here in a minute, Jason, but when I hear you say that is all you need to do as a man, that's the message that Brandie and I keep saying is men are anointed for the role of doing those 5 things. And when you are a good man, when you're a Christian man, when you're following God, your masculinity is an anointment. That's who God wanted you to be.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I know that women are innately wired by God to want a strong man, protect, provide, like you said, live, love, pray, protect, provide. I mean, that is what every woman's dream guy is.
All right, you guys are listening to the She's So Right show with Jason DeSantis of Toxic Masculinity Men's. We will be right back to hear more about Jason and being the amazing Christian alpha male that men are called to be.
Hey everyone, we're back. You're listening to the She's So Right show with myself, Brandie Barclay, my beautiful co-host Lindsey Graham. And today we have an amazing guest, the alpha male, Jason DeSantis from New Jersey. And he is the founder of Toxic Masculinity hair products and apparel. And we're interviewing him today. We're just talking all about this whole hijacked word, masculinity. We love masculine men. We champion strong men. We're married to strong men because, like you said just now, Jason, before the break, you were saying how it takes a strong masculine man to be able to support a shiny wife. And I think Lindsey and I both fit in that category where,
I think you ladies shine.
Thank you.
And what I love is the word of God actually says that a godly woman is a jewel in her husband's crown. And I feel like a strong man, can carry his family as like these are the jewels in my crown, rather than him competing with his wife.
And I couldn't agree more. And again, that brings us back to the term toxic masculinity, right? A real man, a masculine man, never competes with his wife. It's he should want her to shine, and she should, be on a pedestal, and he should dote over, and he should protect her, and he should make sure that when she walks in the room, all eyes are on her, because at the end of the day, as masculine as I am, like, she's the head of the family. And again, whether she's more successful or less successful, it's irrelevant. It takes a masculine man, a real man, to be able to come second to his wife. And I think, they use the word masculine men want a woman in the kitchen, and they want a woman at home, and they want to boss her around. No, again, that's an insecure macho man. Mm-hmm. That's not a masculine man.
Because
that's not a man that...
He's trying to exert that masculinity by being bossy. Yeah,
so he's trying to control her. So I know when you ladies were, introducing the topic, you were talking about, the hyper masculinity. Listen, the left knows that that's bull. Mm-hmm. They know that's not the case. They know, but they use it because they know that they're hot topics that they can kind of move the people that follow them, the sheep that follow them, into the direction they want to go. Like, being aggressive doesn't make you a criminal, or being, a passionate person doesn't make you, a sexual deviant, or being, because I may be a passionate person, I'm passionate with my partner, but I'm also protective and loving. I'm not, going to go out and look to rape and commit crimes. Like,
right.
No, that's not.
That's called
not
good
what I
and
do.
evil. It doesn't. It should have nothing to do with sex, gender at all. And
exactly.
I want to go
that's
back
good
to
and
what.
Bad.
Yeah, I want to go back to when you said, women can be, I actually. When I think of the divine order, God first, marriage second, and the man being the leader, the head of the house, I think it's kind of funny. I don't know if you remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where she said,
I can tell you exactly what you're going to say.
Right, where she said, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and she turns the head wherever she wants, right? And it's like,
but the truth.
It's kind of true, but this is the deal. I believe when you have a godly man, like you said, an alpha male, masculine man, live, love, pray, protect, provide, a woman will naturally come under him and respect him and honor him. And I believe when we've got this beautiful dynamic of when we as women respect our husbands and give him that leadership role, and he comes and cherishes us with that, what a beautiful dance that is, rather than competing for who's in charge. Because really none of us are. God should be in charge of the house. What's your thought on that?
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I just think sometimes insecure men, can't handle a successful and powerful woman. Mm-hmm. And then I think that's where the dynamic gets messed up. And I see it with friends in their marriages. I've seen it with my father and my stepmother, in their marriage. And it's unfortunate, but just some people are insecure and some people are controlling, and there's really nothing they can do about it. It's unfortunate. It's a shame, but it doesn't lead for good relationships, and it doesn't lead to the great upbringing of children. Mm-hmm. And it hurts society. And I'm not saying that my father was weak, but my father was insecure and controlling. So my sister grew up different than I grew up with my mother and my father, because my mother wouldn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was none of that with my mother. And my father was different with my mother. He was different with my stepmother. Therefore, my sister grew up way different than me. And she has a lot of problems because of that.
Interesting.
So it's unfortunate. It really is. But again, I think it gets back to masculinity and macho, just like feminine and feminist. I lump them into the same thing. Like, one to me is awful and one to me is magnificent. Yeah. Masculine and feminine are magnificent. Feminist and macho are awful. And I think they confuse the two at their convenience to get the results and to spin the narrative that they want. And
Jason,
I think it's bad because it hurts us.
Jason, where can people find you on Instagram?
We are on Instagram at Toxic Masculinity Men's. We're on Facebook as well, Toxic Masculinity Men's. And our website is toxicmasculinitymen's.com. The apparel is ready. The apparel is inspirational. It's bold. It's impactful. The hair care will be ready in approximately 2 weeks. That's it.
All right. Awesome, everybody. Jason DeSantis, Toxic Masculinity. Welcome back to the She's So Right show with Brandie Barclay, Lindsey Graham, and our guest today, Jason DeSantis of Toxic Masculinity. It's a men's hair care and apparel line. We're talking to him about dismantling the concept of the leftist given toxic masculinity term. Jason's been telling us about his family dynamic growing up with a masculine father. Brandie, you had a question for him.
No, I thought he said that his dad was more insecure and it affected his sister. And if you can, or if you want to embellish, I'd love to hear more how you think it affected you both differently.
My father, very different. He was the best father in the world. He's no longer here. He passed away almost 7 years ago. But he was an amazing father, an amazing coach. And it's funny because I lived with my mother, but was there on the weekends. Mm-hmm. And I saw my father's best characteristics. My sister saw his worst. Mm-hmm. And, so I saw the leader, the role model, the strong one, the powerful one, the amazing coach, the charismatic coach. I didn't see the insecure, the controlling, the everything has to be his way side of him. I guess he didn't want to show me that. I wouldn't have stood for it. It's not my personality. And I know my mother never would have stood for it. My mother would have put him in the intensive care unit.
Strong woman.
I don't know if I call her strong. I call her like she's a different breed. I don't think she's fully evolved yet, my mother. But you know what? Listen, if there ever becomes a revolution with all the shenanigans going on, you call that woman. Half dead. Half dead. I still want that woman in the foxhole with me.
That's so funny.
Well, and
she's not losing.
And maybe that's why you're not intimidated by strong women.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, it's like people always say to me, a masculine man, they don't want. No, that's not true. Again, I keep going back to what I'm saying. Like a real man, a masculine man is the only one that can accept a superstar woman, a powerful, a strong, a successful woman. An insecure, petty man can't. It's not in him to have someone outshine him, and resentment builds up, and then
Yep.
things happen in the marriages. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Forgive me. I'm just saying. I think there's a difference with insecurity and passivity. I think that the feminist movement is creating a passive man, and I think like insecure and fake macho controlling. I think is different than like the guy who just walks behind his wife carrying the baby bag and cooking her dinner and rubbing her feet like this. And I'm not saying serving your wife is bad, but I think that they're like, just be passive. Don't have an opinion. Don't let me be the boss babe. So, and I think that's the movement. And now if you are the leader and, take charge a little bit, you're a bad guy.
And again, I think it's all done on purpose because, like you ladies said, they don't want to have gender roles. They don't want to have specific roles. It gets into, I don't want to get into a different topic, but it's the same thing with you're not a mother anymore. You're a birthing person.
Right.
It's not breastfeeding. It's chest feeding. And it boggles my mind how the party that champions women are trying to erase the magic of what women could do that men can't do.
Exactly.
So, again, that's a whole different topic.
Right.
But,
Next month.
But it really is the same topic. I think they kind of overlap,
Because they're not trying to create they're not trying to create the term toxic masculinity unless it feeds into a narrative that is bigger. And and you keep saying it, and there is a narrative that is bigger. And you are right. It's tied into, well, if we've got manly men leading a home in Christ and we've got women following that man because he's led by Christ, and that's what we're called to do. If you've got a God-anointed man, now you've got this beautiful family dynamic that's the way God intended. Well, we're trying to destroy that. The left is trying to destroy that. And so where do we start?
And they want the government to be the leader.
That's right.
Why would they want a man to lead his family when they'd rather him sit home and just collect off the government?
Yep, exactly. So
and yes,
so you're right.
It's right. I go back into the jungle, right? Everyone forgets it's the lioness who hunts, right? She does the hunting. She's also in control of the family. She's not following a hyena or a jackal or one of the lions that's not the leader. She's following the leader. She's following the king. And that's the same thing. It's, there's that bond and that relationship between a powerful man and a powerful woman. And again, like you said, they want to break it because if they break that, then they control it. Again, they took away the family.
Yep.
And they took away God. And now they're trying to take away masculine men. And now they're trying to take away the magic of what women do, create and give life and nurture life. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
And I know we always joke around, Lindsey, like, with the feminist women and things like that, right?
Oh my gosh.
And the crazy men that are like, you never seen a good-looking or well-adjusted or successful person be like a crazy feminist or one of these, crazy, LBGT binary. Like, I don't know anymore.
You should see our Instagram messages.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're always sharing these videos of these women with half their head shaved off, but they've got hair in their armpits. And they've got...
It's really a heart of rebellion. It's just simple. I
don't want to adhere to the expectations.
Yes,
it's easier for me to say this is acceptable than to try to live up to an expectation.
It's really rebellion.
Well, yes. And you know what I think? It's funny. My son's 11 years old. He's in the 5th grade. Very personable kid. A very smart boy.
Adorable.
Excellent in sports. He's such a good, kind boy. And I try to tell him, listen, you have every advantage and gift in life, but with that comes responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to be a leader. I want you to help the person that needs help. I want you to, to bring on the outcast, to bring them into your group, to make sure nobody's bullying or picking on them. But I guess he was telling about these emu kids. I guess emos? Emu? I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's like,
emo.
Daddy, it's not an emu. They're not the bird.
Oh, my gosh.
So I said to him, listen, I want you and your friends to always be nice. He said, Daddy, they're not nice to us. We try to include them. We try to bring them into when we do things. They don't want to talk to us. They're mean to us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, even at that age, 10, 11, 12, you're getting like that crazy subculture where they're pulling away and creating their own dynamics and
then blaming
they're the good guys
you.
because they're the victims, and then the normal, well-adjusted kids are the bad kids.
Yep, and they're
And
blaming
it's funny
the
because
normal kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, you see that now, and it's just like it's crazy, and I don't, as a parent, like I don't know, like my job, like my son the other day, we ran into my ex-wife and her husband, and he ran to them, and as a father, it kind of killed me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he ran to his stepfather, and I was like, ugh, it hit me.
Dagger.
But if there's another person in my son's life that's going to love him to death and put him first,
That's right.
listen, I'll sign up right now on the dotted line.
Yeah.
That to me is a wonderful thing. So I guess my ex-wife saw that like it kind of bothered me a little bit, or like it kind of hurt me. And she texts me and she's like, listen, all your son wants to do is please you. And so she's like, we have
That was
different
sweet.
relationships, me and Dean, than you do. So in the car ride, I said to him, I said, Jackson, he said, Daddy, Mommy and Dean are different with me than you are. He said, but I know you have to make me a man. So it's okay. And I was like, how does an 11-year-old kid notice? And I'm 47, and when I saw it, it almost crushed me. So, like he said to me, Daddy, it's your job to make me a man. It's Mommy and Dean's job to make sure I'm okay.
Wow.
And I said, as long as you know Daddy loves you equally. He said, I know, Daddy. It's just different. I said, okay.
So cute.
So,
That's what we
again,
need.
but again, you need strong fathers, right? I think I read a statistic, right? They want to talk about masculinity is bad. And why is it that kids without fathers are 60% more likely to commit crimes and go to jail?
Yep, Brandie
Right?
has some statistics. She was doing her research
Right, like-
earlier.
Like it's crazy, right? Without the father, the kids are 60 or 65% more likely to commit crimes and go to jail.
Oh my gosh,
So-
it's 1 in 4 fathers live
Oh, yeah, so
apart
you
from
know-
their
you know more than
children.
me.
So 1 in 4 fathers live apart, and with those kids, there's more depression, more incarceration, teen pregnancy, and poverty. And then the other thing I thought was really interesting is that 71% of all high school dropouts don't live with their father.
Wow. So that's a lack of a
it's so
strong man.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's lack of a male father figure. And again, right? I never seen a masculine man not take care of his children. I've seen some bad macho men not take care of their children.
Yeah.
And not take care of the responsibilities. I never seen a real man not take care of responsibility and not take care of his children. And for me, as a go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you keep going. Keep going. I'll interrupt you when
Like
I
as-
really feel like it's
no.
important. It's not that important.
What my father showed me growing up, every Christmas he'd bring my mother a gift. Every Mother's Day he'd bring my mother a gift. Every holiday he'd bring my mother flowers. They were young when they got married, 18 and 21. So, but I guess he wanted to show me that even though me and your mother are married, I still love her, and it's still my job to show you how you should treat a woman, a mother. And I do the same thing with Jackson and Nicole, even though she has a husband and he does, he takes very good care of her and he's a great person. I still show my son that, hey, that's your mother, and she used to be my wife. And although we're not married, Daddy still loves her. And I want to always make sure that I show him that I get her gifts and I get her Mother's Day and birthday cards, because I want him to know, even if something doesn't work out, I still have to be a certain way and show a certain level of love and respect to whoever is the mother of my child or a girlfriend, because, it's not what we say, it's what they see.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is what I try to teach my son. And again, right, like real men take care of their children.
Right.
And that's what it boils down to, right? Like we're not bad. And I think they make us out to be bad because they don't want fathers in the picture. And they don't want women
because then the government can't
expressing
be
what
the
their magic
father.
is.
That's right. Government.
Exactly. The
Government
father or
can
the mother.
trample weak men. but
Then you create this strong unit who is independent from all the government crap, and that's what they don't want.
And it's funny because people don't see that, right? I went out to lunch with a dear friend of mine. She's a very huge, big Democratic operative in my county. She's the president of our local school board. We've been friends since we were 6 years old. We vehemently disagree on everything, but we're great friends. And we were having the conversation yesterday, and she's like, it's crazy to me what they teach these kids. And she said, I'm staying on the board because she's black, I'm white. And she's like, I'm staying on the board because when we grew up, this wasn't taught. Mm-hmm. And we were taught that no matter what your situation was, and as long as you have your family support and they were involved, you can be whatever you want to be. Mm-hmm. And she said, now it's the opposite. Wow. And she's like, I won't have it. And she's like, that's why I'm staying on the board, because there's a lot of kids that were in our situations growing up that aren't striving to be better, and they're already playing victims at 12, 13, 14 years old. And she said, I will not allow that.
Even the Democrats are starting to wake up to the narrative. It all comes back to this narrative that they're building now. Now, not only are you supposed to be a weak man, but if you're a different race than white, you're supposed to be a victimized weak man. And we're not raising up little men like you are your son.
And again, right? I never met a masculine man that cares about color, race, religion. It's not what I could care less what someone is. And I tell my son the same thing. Jackson, people are good or they suck. That's it. Doesn't matter, man, woman, Chinese, white, black, Jewish, Muslim, Catholic. If they're good, they're good. They suck, they suck. And you judge people based on your relationship with them. Mm-hmm. I keep it simple. I'm a very simple man.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I'm not easy. I'm not far from easy, but I'm simple.
Mm-hmm. You're different breed.
And I try to teach my... Yes, I am. Listen, again, I'm as real as they come. If I'm for you, I got you to the end. And
all right. Well, Jason, you are for us. I think you were saying your apparel...
And you ladies are for me, too.
Ah.
Your apparel line.
How about this? Strong men matter.
Strong men matter. Ooh, that's your next T-shirt. All right, we got to tell you where to find. ToxicMasculinityMens.com, Instagram, Toxic Masculinity. We've got Jason DeSantis as our guest. Thank you so much for being on. You guys can check his stuff out at ToxicMasculinityMens.com. This was the She's So Right show. Brandie Barkley and Lindsey Graham.
God bless you all.
God bless America. Follow us on Instagram at She's So Right Show.
It's Dylan's KC Barbecue at 4 Valley locations. Our sports bar in Arrowhead is packed with TVs for the ultimate sports fan. Our Wildlife World Zoo location will have you on the edge of your seat, dining right next to our 60,000-gallon shark tank. Dylan's Bayou at Pleasant Harbor has never-ending sunsets, beautiful people, and live music every weekend. And our newest location, Western Trails Ranch, is 12 acres of rodeo fun and live outdoor concerts for the entire family. It's Dylan's KC Barbecue, where we're elite, unique, and memorable.